It's time for Who Watch, Time and Relative Blackness in Space.
Black girls have the box.
Hi everyone, it's Bayana, Robyn, and Connie coming to you live from the Time Vortex.
Today we're discussing episode 1 of Doctor Who season 10, the pilot. In this episode, the Doctor's up to something, Bill is literally me, guys, and Nardole is kind of useless.
Indeed.
That was fun.
So, we wanted to just kind of explain why we are called Time and Relative Blackness in Space for this show. Who wants to...
Mostly just because I liked it and was like, oh, hey, guys, that's an awesome thing. You should do that. And then I'm going to join you because I feel like it and I'm your cousin and I can make these decisions now.
Actually, I came up with Time and Relative Blackness in Space and I was really proud of it. And then Bayana was like,
yeah,
but no one's going to really know. It should also, like, we're talking about Doctor Who, so it should say Doctor Who somewhere. And I was like, but I just really like TARBIS. And, like, what a hashtag. What a hashtag. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, but you gotta explain it because then people might think it's a typo, and it's like, no, it's not. It's deliberate.
Deliberate.
But yeah, so it's the name of our after show. We're Black. We're talking about Doctor Who, and we like.
And Bill's
time
Black, and we're gonna be talking about blackness because of the new companion too. I mean, we're gonna be talking about blackness in general.
Kind of works perfectly.
Because
it just works.
Blackity black black.
And time travel.
I'm black, y'all. Blackity black black black, y'all.
Yep. And blackness and time travel is very
it's a thing.
It's difficult. It's a difficult subject to really comprehend. So Doctor Who is a great show to sort of discuss the idea with, because they travel so far in the past, but also the future, and what does that mean for a Black companion? And we know that the show kind of doesn't always know what to do with that, as we experienced back in season 3 when Martha was our first Black companion. Well, first full-time Black companion, because Mickey was also a Black companion, but again, didn't know how to deal with it or address it. So I think all of this was kind of perfect timing for us to start as TARDIS.
Also, did Mickey never went back in time?
No, he only went forward.
He only went to the future. And to the alternate universe.
Oh, I'm mistaking that. What is that episode with, like,
Madame Pompadour?
Queen, it looked like very. Yes,
but he's not. He doesn't go back. It's only the Doctor. He's on the ship the whole time.
Oh, I haven't watched the episode in a while.
Yeah, girl, the fireplace is lit.
Right.
It's one of our faves.
Interesting. I forgot.
Yeah. So let's hop into the pilot, which is like, hey guys, look at that play on words. It's like the pilot, but it's the pilot. Also, can we just talk about
It's the one time the first episode of a show being called pilot is actually clever. So yeah, that's nice.
Well, no, that's not true. Don't forget Pushing Daisy's title. Their first episode title is called Pie.
Yes.
Let P-I-E. Let. So sometimes they get clever, but it's usually not 10 seasons in.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true.
Season 10 pilot. Also, this episode, was it just me or was it terrifying? Because I was literally like hopping around screaming so much that my brother came in a couple times and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not okay. This is terrible. Everything is terrible. We're going to die."
I think it was the perfect balance of
terrible,
scary, but fun.
Who was having fun?
Yes, because look, me I was.
I was in love with Bill. I know that, and then I felt weird because I was like, Bill is Connie, and I'm not in love with Connie, but I'm definitely in love with Bill.
She's my twin sister.
I was like,
it's fine.
I don't know, man.
I decided. We'll talk about it later.
I feel like about it. And her hair game, like,
we'll talk about it later. Oof. But I'm really jealous. But we'll get to that later. But I feel like this episode was really both scary, like you said, because like I was like, Bill, what are you doing?
Don't touch the water.
Why are you going to the shower? That's
Why
stupid.
are you touching the water?
Stop looking at puddles.
You know, Black people and water don't mix.
So
don't do it, Bill. Don't do
Especially
it.
With your hair,
with
Bill.
your hair.
You know that shrinkage
is real. With your natural hair looking on
shrinkage
fleek, and you gonna go touch the water now? No.
Shrinkage is real, but I think because I've been sort of off Who for a couple seasons now, and part of the reason is that I think seasons 8 and 9 especially were very dark, and there was a lot of, like, there are episodes where it's not so dark, but both visually and thematically the show has been very heavy and dark and I don't know. So I think this episode was a great change in focus for the show, to be a lot more brighter, a lot funnier. I mean, even though Nardole is kind of useless, I think he added some, moments of humor that I appreciated. And so I think it was a new direction for the show, one that I'm like, yes, I really love Doctor Who again. And so I really appreciate that. And I wanted to note that Stephen Moffat actually wrote this episode, and I'm like, really? Because I really enjoyed it, and it's been a while.
Wait, who? Moffat wrote it?
That's a lie. I did enjoy River's Christmas episode. Moffat wrote it.
I mean, I think I really liked this episode. I feel like a lot of the times with Doctor Who, because I even feel...
I love Moffat. I'm not going to lie.
Like, even season 8, I didn't like season 8, but the first episode... I really liked, and it was like a similar thing where like it feels like I'm coming back into, like I'm being greeted, and it's like, hey, now we're running again, and like now we're doing all these things, and also just we have a new companion, so there's like a fresh kind of take on it. Now we're like relearning this again, and I think the other thing I really like is that we don't really know like where the Doctor is in his timeline yet. It seems like he's been, like, he's in this university and he's teaching classes or whatever. It seems like he's been there a while. But it's not really
she said, like,
clear,
50
like,
years.
how long.
So,
right, and then it's like, did he go back in time?
But I don't know if he's
been,
been, if it's been 50 years for him sequentially or not.
And then also they said 50 years, but then she said somebody else said 70. So, like, we just know he's been there a while. He could have been there like 100 years.
Dumbledore vibes off that.
You said what?
Way. I got a lot of Dumbledore vibes off that line, by the way. It was very like this professor who's been here forever,
exactly, and he gets to do whatever he wants.
Does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and then because I was recently catching up, I know that he's like, I think they've gotten to a point where they're like, we don't want people to keep track of how old he is, so we're just gonna have him stay all of these places for like 100 years. Because I remember Matt's like Christmas
let's not talk about it.
Where, I know, but he was in the town called Christmas. Sorry. For like 100 or so years or whatever, and then
he went young again.
I watched Heaven Sent the other day, and then we're not talking about that part specifically. And then in Heaven Sent, he was like escaping from that prison for like a bajillion years, like literally a billion years to reach the end of the earth to get to Gallifrey. And then he's been here for 50 years, maybe 100, who knows? But it might not, like you were saying, it might not be sequentially. So it's hard to tell, but I think they've gotten to a point on the show where they're like, people keep trying to like really keep track of how old the Doctor is. Let's blow that out of the water. So,
like, don't even try it.
I have no idea how old he is or how long he's been.
Right. Yeah. But it does, like, the fact that he has been there for, like, however long he's been there, it's clear, like, there's something going on, right? Like, we don't ever see the Doctor kind of, like, stay put unless he's, like, doing something. So, like, even in, like, what's it called? The Caretaker, which... I guess that's season 8. And I actually do kind of like the episode a little bit, except for Danny, but he's like, I'm staying. And Clara's like, why? Like, what's going on? Is there trouble? And he's like, oh yeah, but it's fine. I'm here and like, it'll be cool. So I'm wondering like, what is the trouble? And I'm sure it seems like that's going to be the kind of like over like the season arc or whatever of the show is like whatever he's got in that vault under the school. Like, what is that about? And
I think I know.
Yeah. What do you think it is? What's your theory?
I think it's Clara.
That seems weird.
I know, right?
Yeah, I think they're moving away from like there are lots of very explicit references to Clara, but I don't think that.
Yeah, I think it was.
That's the big thing.
I feel like the references were more like a more subtle way to kind of get us. It's like a transition thing where it's like, hey, don't forget we do have all these other people who have like traveled with the Doctor or whatever, and this time it's Clara. So I feel like every transition between companions, there's always like a callback. Like when the Doctor met Clara, he was wearing Amy's glasses, or like there was the whole thing where the reference where like Madame Vastra gave him like a word that Clara said and it was pond, and so then that's what made him come. And then like of course, there was like the really not so subtle like Rose to Martha transition where the doctor was just like mourning over Rose or whatever. But I feel like that part made sense, but I don't think there's going to be much more about it unless like her and Ashildr come back and like start wreaking havoc. But I think Arya has some stuff to do in Westeros, and so
Westeros?
I'm cool if we don't get that.
And I think it would be smarter for them to wait a while for them to do that anyway. It's more of a end of the season kind of thing to pull in, especially because Capaldi's leaving, so
Moffat's leaving too.
I think it would be smarter to do it
Right,
at
so
the
then they
end.
could do like a full, let's bring all of the people back like they did last time.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, all of 12 people.
Moffat's doing the
My
Christmas
thing about
special,
this
right?
episode with
Sorry, this is like kind
think
of
so.
a tangent, but not really.
ooh, I'm not sure.
It's a little
If he
inside
is,
baseball.
I really hope that we finally get some doctors together again. It's just a wish.
Well, I mean, isn't Matt Smith been pretty like
That'd be great.
outspoken about how he wants to come back? So, and I'm all for it. I really want them to get Eccleston. I don't know what they did to break his heart, but he's not rocking with them. But I mean, give the man $1 million so we can get 9. We need him. He'll do it for like I'd do it for $1 million. Like 20 minutes on set for $1 million. A cool mill. Come on, BBC, you got it. You got it.
It would never be 20 minutes. It'd be a whole day, but that's still good for a mill.
Even if he just walks in the
BBC don't
background,
write
I would be
like that.
I would lose my shit. If he's just like they can use old footage, man. You don't even need him. Just use old footage of him walking around the set. Just put him in there. Get him back. 9, like I need more 9 in my life. So do you want to get into this episode though? Like
I mean,
the
we have been
details
kind of,
and
but yeah.
I mean, I think that was like more
so-
overarching what we think about the season, like
True.
that big mystery. But I'm talking about like opening with Nardole opening the door and letting Bill in. Like how's Nardole's head staying on? That bolt dropped on the floor, so I'm like,
I don't know, Matt.
you know what I mean?
I missed the Christmas special because it's not on Amazon Prime yet.
Oh.
So I don't know if Dr. Mysterio, that episode explained why.
Oh,
doesn't.
you know what? I never
He just-
even
no.
watched that.
He's
I
just
never
there.
watched Dr.
Cool.
Mysterio.
You didn't watch it? I watched it with my sister.
I forgot all about it.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It wasn't my
Just a year
favorite.
without who?
I think
It's been a
the
long
River
year.
the River Song one was really good, and then the Dr. Mysterio one was
It was
whatever.
so good.
River Song was the
And
last thing I
Nardole was
forgot.
just there, and I wasn't sure why he was there. It's the same. It was kind of the same thing as in this episode where it's like, it's not like he's like offensive, right? It's not like he's just like at places he shouldn't be, and he's not annoying, but he doesn't really add anything to the story. A lot of the stuff that he says is just like a riff off of the Doctor and like something either the Doctor could say or
doesn't need to be said at all.
Like you
Or
could literally
can't say.
just pull all of his lines out of the script and the script would still work and be fine. So
And what did you say,
Oh.
Bayana?
I like
Yeah,
it
what'd
too
you
much
say?
put it into,
When we were talking
but yeah,
about
so
this
he doesn't,
What'd
he
you
doesn't
say?
add
I just-
anything.
I just need you to say it.
He doesn't add anything except for whiteness. So like we get this new like black companion and like yay we got a person of color and it's like hey but we're just gonna add this like random white dude in here who doesn't really need to be there. He was in River's like Christmas special, and it was fine and it made sense for him to be there. But then like why past that? Other than that, they.
I mean, I think they like
and,
the
he hasn't done
actor, and he's funny. You know, like he's like a
He was in
comedian, and
Bridesmaids.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking that like further down the line they might expand on that. But I think it's just kind of like when they had James Corden, you know, it was like the first for the lodger. I don't think Americans really understood what that was like to have James Corden
I
in
mean,
the
or
episode.
even-
And I think it's
But
kind of similar.
or even Donna.
Yeah, even Donna.
But even Donna,
Like,
because Catherine Tate is like known for
Yeah.
being hilarious and a comedian, so her being on the show was like, oh snap, she can be serious. All right.
well, I think
see
too,
that.
but even
I
like
don't
the,
think
because
it's
I thought
the
they
same
had her in
though,
the
right?
Christmas special. No, I think it's similar to like so they had Kylie Minogue in the Christmas special, right? And it was like we have this
And that
big
was
name.
a dumb episode.
I kind of liked it.
I'm just saying.
I mean, but
It was
not my
you know,
favorite.
and then they had
Yeah.
Catherine Tate in the Christmas special, and I think it was like they have a big name. who's not a part of
I don't think it's the same thing, right? Because like
right. But I
Kylie
think
Minogue
it's kind
was
of
a
like
one-off. For all intents and purposes, like Catherine Tate was a one-off for that season, and
right.
like,
I think it's kind of like the Catherine Tate thing. They brought him back, and maybe we'll figure out more.
He wasn't as good. He's not as good as Catherine Tate. He's not.
I'm not.
And they're not bringing him back like,
point.
hey, this is the companion. He's not coming back as the companion. He's coming back as like the doctor's pet, and he's just around. He's not like he's not the center
right.
of anything. He's just there, and so he just. I feel like it's different
he
because
is kind
like
of the pet.
Donna had, even when Donna was there as a one-off, right, and they brought him back and they brought her back, like she was really integral to the plot, and like it was still like the story was still surrounding, like it was one episode but it surrounded her. Like Nardole is just there.
Yeah, I mean,
like
so
maybe
my
they
thing
can write
was,
it so that
when
it's
they
not
did
that
it,
way, but
like when they did Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, and they had, oh God, I want to say Fry and Laurie, but that is so wrong. Mitchell and Webb. So David Mitchell and Webb, I don't know his first name right now because I can't think because I'm running on 4 hours of sleep. But that was like, I mean, it was just their voices, but it was like a big deal. Like, as someone who watches way too much British television for a person that doesn't live in Britain, like, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they got Mitchell and Webb and they got them back together and they were doing their whole like comedy duo bit thing. And I think it's that, and we just haven't, either they're like, they haven't figured it out yet, but they know that they want him and he's available and they, you know what I mean? And they're going to figure it out. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm just saying, like, I think that is why he's there.
yeah, I mean, I think if they're able to like write him in a way that like makes more sense and like feels more integral to the story, then cool.
I mean,
but so far, I mean, it's only one episode.
I think there's it's one episode. I think there's an opportunity for that to be the case because whatever it is that the doctor has under the school, I feel like I'm expecting some sort of Nardole heroic sacrifice to happen because of whatever it is under the school. So like the doctor needs him because he's some sort of cyborg, android, robot thing.
Cyborg, I think.
Because what was he before?
He's just an alien.
Because was he human before? He's an alien, right?
Yeah, but he was kind of...
I don't know.
Or his, like, mask...
He just showed up in the Christmas special.
Yeah.
He just showed up in the Christmas special, they never explained if he was an alien or human on another planet where River was. And
well,
like, was
they were married.
River's sort of mini companion?
I think he was one of her husbands.
Her husbands?
But I can't remember.
I think he was her husband's. He was one of her husband's like lackeys.
Okay, or that. But I feel like he was human.
Yeah, that's what I
least.
think.
No, I think he's what I heard when I read I read outside of this was that he's the first full-time alien companion in New Who. So he's not he's not human, or he's not, at least he's not from Earth. He might be a humanoid, but like he's not from Earth. Right. The same way that Time Lords are humanoid but not human.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I just wish that he didn't get that.
Well, I think, too, what's interesting about Nardole is... So, Madame Bastra's little pet, the pumpkin, the potato head, why can't I think of his name right now?
Strax.
Like,
Strax.
Strax, yeah. So Strax gets these, like, lines that are, like, purely for laughs, right? And I think that they're doing something with Nardole where it's, like, maybe because he has been... the doctor has been, like, at the university for so long or something that he is, like, the bridge, you know, like, keeping him, like, a little bit more, because he's, like, he has the line about he never notices the tears.
Kind of companion.
You know what I mean? So he's kind of keeping the doctor from...
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, like...
losing his humanity.
Yeah, like, the 11th Doctor after he loses the pawns and he just goes, like, full hermit. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of, like, his anchor to, like... humanity, but just not like, I mean, I don't know, time travel and aliens, guys, but like to society and people and like, you know what I mean, and not being, and I think that might show up more as the episodes go on, but and my friend Marissa wants you guys to know that he's Uncle Festus. I kept calling him Nardole, and she kept saying Uncle Festus, and I was like, no, his name is Nardole. And she was like, okay, but I like Uncle Festus. And I was like, okay. That's not his name.
He's like grown-up Caillou.
Oh,
Grown-up
he
Caillou.
is.
Oh
Wow.
no. I love Caillou, so let's not
That's
start
not
there. Let's not
wrong.
go there, because y'all are gonna shade
Really?
him, and then we're gonna get into a
Yeah.
fight. I love Caillou. I do.
I have no feelings about Caillou. I've never
Oh my
watched
God,
the
he's
episode.
just a little boy living his
visually.
life. Like, you know, people just like hate the bald little French Canadian. Like, he's just like a little, you know.
But why is he bald? He's
Yeah.
4.
It's
I don't know,
Questions
man.
that need answers, but we don't need to answer them right now.
all right. Let's.
He's got
let's move on.
alopecia. It's fine. People have it. It's a thing. Don't be
All right. Let's.
ableist.
Back to the
Yeah,
universe.
The Hooniverse. I like that.
The Hooniverse.
So let's talk about Bill, you guys.
I'm in love, and we're gonna get married.
Bill!
I'm sorry, Connie. Like, I don't like you and
Okay.
I were cousins,
It's fine.
but
It's fine. We're I've decided that Bill and I are
Okay.
twins. We were separated at birth because look, okay.
Oh
so,
my God.
The thing I already
the
love.
mother.
I
the
already
pictures-
love
oh.
Bill. I already loved Bill. Okay, because she looks like me.
She's your
and she
Serafina
has a
Pickery,
glorious
except
fro,
done right.
And
I'm pissed again. I just made myself mad.
don't make yourself mad. So I already loved her and was like, yeah, Bill, I'm with it. And then, so in the episode, she's just like, yeah, that's my foster mom. And my real mom died when I was a baby. And I just imagined that she said this thing. And I was like, I'm sorry, were we actually separated at birth? Because my mom died when I was a baby. And we look alike. And there are photos of her. And I'm like, oh, snap, this is great. And then I'm looking through my photos now like, is it Dr. Because I think that we have the same life. I'm confused. How did this happen? Where did Moffat get this? Like,
You tweet too much.
is Muffet
you
in
tweet
my
too much,
brain?
Connie. He be all up in your
That
timeline.
also. You
Muffet.
remember that episode?
He's not
you
on
remember,
Twitter.
You remember?
He's not. He may not be on Twitter, but he is on Twitter.
You know what's happening right now, Connie?
He's apparently
is
reading my
has
tweets.
he has the silence monitoring your brain. And so,
Oh
like,
my
they've
God!
created this
Why would you
whole
go there?
thing
Why would you even say that
around
thing?
like
Take
your
it back.
life? And then
Oh my
next
God.
thing,
Make a
next
check
thing you know,
mark.
everybody's living plastic, and
Oh,
the Pandora's
God.
is gonna open, and yeah, so that's what's happening.
So you're
my
like the
goodness.
Amy
Watching it on TV.
Pond
and like, I just,
of Doctor Who, and Bill
Yeah.
is your raggedy doctor. Oh my God!
or something.
Something more.
But anyway, I've decided that we're twins and we were separated at birth. We have the same mom. And the doctor went and got pictures for both of us.
Can we
because
just talk
that's what
about the
happened. Also,
feelings
like,
of
the
that?
fact that he did that was just so beautiful because she got him a present and he was just like, oh, wait, crap, humans are like this. I forgot. Okay, I'm gonna go do a thing. And then he goes and does this thing off of a little thing she said and like made her life.
It's so
And
sweet.
It's like the nicest thing I think the doctor may have
I
done.
think that is one thing that I don't.
Ever.
Okay, so the episode was 99.9% terrifying, but that was like the light, sweet part that like really like got my heart, and I forgot for a second how scared I was. Well, I guess that was before we got scared. That was before they got real.
Stuff.
But
Okay,
Yeah.
can we just really quickly,
Yeah.
like as a pause? It's kind of about Bill, but like the when she walks into her house and somebody's in the shower, I was
Girl.
having like, and then the other moment where she's like
Run.
going to see the doctor, and then homegirl was just standing there. I was like, get out! You ain't seen
All
that movie
ghostly?
yet, Bill.
All
What are you
ghostly.
doing? She
She
just
hasn't
staring
seen
at
it yet.
you.
This was filmed months ago.
But that was like, because you know
Fair.
what though? But you know what
This was
though?
filmed
Let's
months
be
ago.
honest.
She ain't know to
Let's
get
be
out.
honest. Like, if you turned around and
Let's be
Idris
honest.
Elba, even in his ghostly self, or Michael B. Jordan, Michael Bay, was all ghostly and watery, but he was right there, you ain't gonna run. Bill was hooked. She was sprung. She was sprung. You gotta give her like,
It's true. She was sprung.
you know.
Chris
Very
was sprung too.
She's
that's
like,
all
you
I'm
got
saying.
that star in your
All
eye.
I'm gonna say
Huh?
is Chris was also sprung, and he needed to get out. That's all.
True.
All right, back to the Hooniverse,
True.
which was also really great because today I was supposed to go see Get Out, and I was like, I can't go see that movie. I'm too scared. And my friend's like, no, we have to support Jordan. And I was like, we'll support him when it comes out on DVD in my house. And she's like, you can do it, you can do it. And then as we're watching Doctor Who, and I'm literally like screaming and running around the room, I think that like really solidified to her that I couldn't do it. Like I can't go to a theater and watch
Yeah.
that. Like I couldn't
Yeah.
sit down. Did you hear? She's like, I still think you could do it. I can't do it. I was like, Brandon, my brother like came in, like we're at a condo at Coachella, and my brother came in the room and was like, what is going on? It's like, I'm having issues. I'm having feelings. There's puddles. When the water, when the shit started coming out of her mouth, and I was like,
that was and like that was one of the things about
Very Waters of Mars.
Like this episode is that like we were talking about it before on chat or whatever, but like it was giving me a lot of like different like vibes from different episodes, and I feel like like I don't
wait,
I feel like it worked for this episode, right?
We have to. So you're gonna hear this on the podcast. She's on the podcast anyway. So my friend is sitting here. Say hello. The microphone is on, and you just said that out loud.
I did.
Yeah.
I thought you had it on the audio thing.
But the microphone is picking you up.
You can cut it.
You can cut it. Cut it. Cut it. She said, anyway, we're not going to cut it, though. That was nerd bestie Marissa. She said that she never really feels scared watching Doctor Who because the Doctor is always there. I don't buy that bullshit.
Real.
That's some Hogwarts is always safe and Dumbledore is with you. But Dumbledore is not up. Like,
the TARDIS.
There's still 100 dimensions.
You are always safe in the TARDIS.
Huh?
It's true.
You are always safe in the TARDIS.
I feel like that's true.
That's
true.
True. But that does not mean that it is not scary.
No.
And this shit isn't real.
Yeah.
You might end up okay, but you got to go through it.
It's true.
True.
But like I think that like one of the things like I was
you may
saying,
not die, but you will still be scared. I'm sorry. I'm so scared.
In the middle of my
I'm sorry.
sentence, though.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm still scared thinking about it.
So what I was saying is that like this episode also had a lot of kind of callbacks to companions, but also to like other episodes. And it's one of those things where in this episode it worked really well. So like there was with the water or whatever, it was like the waters of Mars. So for a second I thought it was like those aliens were back. They weren't, but like that was an interesting thing. And then there was the like the part where they were repeating and you guys were saying that it was similar to Midnight, that episode.
It wasn't the exact same.
I didn't catch it just because it wasn't the same kind of. Yeah, I didn't catch it only because it didn't give me the same feeling just because of like kind of the setting of that episode, but I do like get what you're saying. But I was wondering because sometimes I feel like with Sleep No More, for example, when sometimes Moffat tries to recycle ideas and it doesn't work, and I think this time it worked. You know what I mean? For the most part. Where he's like using,
because he has a very particular style.
And I don't even know if he wrote Waters of Mars or not,
and making it terrifying.
I don't know if he wrote either of those episodes, but just like I feel like he took the best, not the best parts of those episodes, but like he just took parts of it and somehow it like ended up working out. I guess I don't know. And I also think that in this, I don't know. I feel like this episode was kind of scary, but I felt like it was like I think Connie said it too. Like,
kind of scary.
And so it
was fun for who?
Yeah,
it was fun for me.
For everybody but you,
I think
girl.
You're the only one.
Who are y'all? Marissa, did you have fun?
Yeah, I liked it.
You had fun? Yeah. Girl, I had fun when
it was so
I had fun when Bill walked in.
Great.
I had fun when he was like, "I'm going to tutor you." I had fun when she saw her. And they were all like flirting, and she fell in love, and I was like, I think I have feelings for Bill. And then when bitch said, "Look in the water," all the fun stopped. Like when the puddle came, I literally
But
Bill
like he took her to Australia.
Bill has this moment when she first gets in the TARDIS.
And then she's go in the bathroom. It's so great.
When she first gets in the TARDIS, and she's like, "I had a fright. I have to go to the bathroom." And that literally happened to me. I was like, you have to pause it. I had a fright. I have to go to the bathroom. And like, I just recycled that line because I was so scared. Like, he took her to Australia and it's like, yay, we're in Australia, it's daytime. And then you turn around and bitches coming up the mirror. No!
It was like Bloody Mary, it's true.
Who has fun? Who's having fun?
Yeah.
And then I'm like sitting here in this condo where literally our headboard is a mirror, guys. And I have one more night here. There are mirrors all over this bitch. because they do that at Airbnbs to make the rooms look bigger.
But there's no water though.
There's no water. There's a pool right outside. Who is having fun? Is my question.
Have you looked at a puddle? Have you looked at a puddle?
I'm not
You
looking
fine.
at shit. I'm drinking coffee for the rest of the day. I'm gonna be dehydrated as fuck.
I mean, you're in a desert,
having
so
no
if you
water.
do see a puddle, run.
Come out of the
She could come out of the coffee. Why are you like this? Go to sleep, Marissa. You need to stop.
Okay, so more Bill. How did you feel about like her how she was like her representation in this episode? No, I like knowing that it's.
I mean,
early.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead, Connie.
I think she was outwardly black, but there's nothing actually black about her yet. Which is, it's a thing. It happens. And I mean, also then, and it's like, what is blackness? And like, we like nerd stuff, so does mean we're not black, blah, 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 whatever. So there's that. So she's black, but she was also layers. She also has a white foster mother, so that's an interesting thing that I think I'm curious as to why they made that decision. I think she could have been a foster kid with any other color parent, including black, and they still could have made it clear that she's a foster kid and made that whatever their plan is for why she's a foster kid and whatever stories they're going to tell off of that. I think that she could have still had any other color parent. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying they kind of made it so that her foster mother like knew her mom. Like, so it wasn't like some random foster placement.
Yeah.
At least that's like what I kind of got.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know we had those. Yeah, like when she found the photo, she's like, I didn't know we had those. But then she kind of made it like, oh, I didn't know, like it was with your stuff. So I don't know how late in the game she was a foster kid.
Yeah.
Like there are lots of questions that we have, but it's just interesting that they were like, yeah, here's her foster mom, who they don't seem very close. They seem very casual with each other, but they're not like mother-daughter necessarily.
Yeah, more like friends and roommates.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was just like, yeah, you're out with that guy. Yeah, okay, cool. She's not, so I don't know. It's just, but she doesn't really seem to really connect with her as a mother necessarily, just as like someone who took care of her. But it just was interesting to me that they made it a white person. And I just really hope that we go back in time and like meet her mom and figure out why, like what happened with her parents. I want an episode like where Rose went back to like see her dad. I want that for Bill, because I want to know
so I have a
about
thing.
her black parents.
I really loved that Bill is gay and it just is, right? There's no like, oh, look at us being really progressive. But the other thing is I really hate the fact that like the only way you cannot have like this weird romantic relationship is that she's gay. She's like lesbian.
Right.
So she's not going to be attracted to the doctor. When it's like,
I mean, but
Bra
Donna
is like 1,000 years old. I know, but I think Donna's the only one that they did that well with. And ever since it's been like, you know, some weird kind of romance type of thing. But I do like want there to be casual friendship. I liked the like matter of factness of her lesbianism, her queerness. That didn't seem so like, hey, look at us, we're so progressive and like we got representation, we checked that box, even though I kind of feel like that's probably what they were doing.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, ooh, she black. What else can we do? What else can we do?
And so we have like
she's
one
gay too.
black queer woman in this story, and like literally everyone else is white. And then I guess for all intents and purposes, we have like 2 queer people in the story because we have Heather. And then, there's also that trope where like these relationships end in tragedy. Because it's like, oh, no, look, now she's dead.
She's dead. Look, you found someone you like. She did. I think that is true. Ugh. It's so difficult. Like you get like one, they give you a crumb.
It's very difficult.
They give you crumbs, man, and then like the crumbs still have a little bit of poison on them. Like
you just gotta dust it off a little bit.
It was very, especially
the poison off. There's like an aftertaste of arsenic.
It was like, oh, I liked this episode. Oh, snap, Moff wrote it. And then you think about it, ooh, Moff wrote it. Because of the little, like, crumbs that are sort of like, he tried, and there's a level of, like, okay.
Give me my cookie.
I mean, you get, like, you did something, great, Moff. But then you can still tell that he doesn't fully get it or really, like, I don't really want to say he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
It's not a priority to him.
Yeah,
it's not a priority to him. So it's like, look, I did it, and then she's black, and then a lot of the stuff that's a black about her is not anything Moffat did. He just happened to cast this woman who happens to be black, and so
shout out
her
to
fro,
the costume,
which is glorious, and I kept staring at her.
Oh my God.
Costume
Her
and
outfit,
like hair and makeup.
Her hair
and makeup.
Y'all are the
Her
real
hair,
MVPs
though.
of
Her hair
of
was
Doctor
great.
Who season 10.
Right.
I just need to know, like, how she's gonna do her hair on the TARDIS. Like, is there a room that just has, like, black hair care products
There
that she
will
needs
be.
for, like, detangling and, like, like, twisting, like, her twist
You know
outs
that
and
scene
stuff?
where
Like,
She'll be like the
Donna,
pod.
I just
pops
have
her
lots of
trunk
questions.
and she has all those boxes and, like, hat boxes and suitcases and, like,
Yes.
wardrobes
Ready.
and shit.
Yes.
Like, that's what I need
Yes.
for Bill. I need Bill to, like,
them
come
to
out of
stop.
her apartment
Yeah.
and be like, cool, I'm ready, with, like, a box with just,
I'm
like,
ready.
hair care products in it and, like, a spray bottle and, like, leave-in conditioner.
Y2
Yeah,
comb.
Y2
I need
comb.
all of that. I
Yeah.
really do.
All her hair
Right.
accessories.
Or you know what would be even
Exactly.
better if she's like, they're on an adventure and she's like, all right, but listen, fam, it's wash day.
Or just, like,
That
I
person
gotta
would be
go.
great.
I mean, they
Like, there's like, he's like out chasing monsters and she's in the TARDIS, like, but it's wash day though, fam. Like, I got the pre-poo in.
because that's one reason how you know that a non-black person wrote this episode, because the whole episode was about water and not a single reference to her
No.
hair. You
Not
kidding
one.
me?
Ain't no
She
shrinkage.
mentioned
Not a single
shrinkage
reference
Not one
at all.
shrinkage joke.
No.
Not one shrinkage joke.
Not one shrinkage joke. That's how you know it was a non-black person who
Right.
wrote that episode. And it was Moffat. So it was like extra
It was like, when Martha would end up in
Not a
water
single
and then her hair didn't
shrinkage
curl up.
reference.
And you'd be sitting there like,
Ugh.
really? How'd that work?
Right.
That don't make no sense.
Really?
That's not realistic.
Is the
I
TARDIS?
know we're
the
traveling in
TARDIS,
time and space, but that's not realistic. It doesn't work.
But you still get that curl though.
The
You still gonna get
TARDIS
that curl.
translation circuit extends to black hair care.
It translates into white hair.
It's like,
Oh,
oh,
God.
here, the TARDIS loves Bill. We decided this, so the TARDIS is gonna be looking out for Bill's shrinkage. That's what
what
I've
it
decided,
is.
because we know we ain't
Right.
gonna see nothing
No.
else about it
No.
for the
I will
rest of the
say,
season.
like, past
So
Bill's hair and stuff, like, she did have some great questions that, like, I mean, I did
Yes.
love the whole, like, the waiting
Why
for
are you
it's
from
bigger
space?
on the inside thing, but, like,
That was really great.
are you from space? No, that's no one's from space.
that was my favorite thing, because no one's from space. They're from a planet, and I'm like,
That was so good.
yo,
That was a really good answer.
question and a good answer.
And that was a good answer. But when she was like,
like,
but that doesn't make any, how is it
wow.
TARDIS? That's in English. That don't make no sense. That only works in English.
Right.
I was like,
Like,
right.
yes.
It's true.
Look at colonialism work.
I almost expected him to say, like,
White
lots of countries
colonialism
speak.
is
Right. I thought he was going to say something like, lots of planets speak English, like, lots of planets have a north. I was, like,
North,
really
yeah.
waiting for
Yeah.
that equivalent.
yeah.
That would have been great.
I was like, look at her with the good questions though.
Yeah, I like that she's inquisitive and curious, and like maybe my favorite thing about why the Doctor likes her is because he was like, when you don't understand something, you
Yeah.
smile, and it's just like a really good like visual detail of like she's gonna be asking questions and she's not gonna be upset about. She's gonna be happy and
Yeah.
curious, and that's,
Man, that was when
she
he
was
picked her to be the
one of the first
companion.
people
She tried
that
to
saw
act. He tried
a
to act
Dalek.
like. Oh, I was gonna say he tried to act like. At the end, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna wipe your memory. Like, I don't travel anymore." Fam, you chose her when you like picked her out of class and had her come to your office.
she
It's a
doesn't
wrap.
go here.
She doesn't
doesn't
go
even go
there.
here.
She doesn't
Doesn't
pay
even go
tuition,
here.
and you out here like you smile when you don't understand something. That she's already in the TARDIS. Let's just go. Let's just leave.
Let's
That's
go. Come on.
That's what it is.
Stop
Like, quit
playing.
playing
You played
games.
yourself.
Like, why you fronting?
That's what
You
I'm
played
saying.
yourself.
Stop fronting, Doc.
Like,
I do though. Like, I love that he. What did he say? Like, or no, like Bill was the only person that like saw a Dalek, and like her immediate reaction was like, "What's that?" and not like, that looks silly. Like, I think that's kind of what was Rose's, like, Rose was like the plunger. And then, like, Amy was like, saw them as Ironside, so she didn't really know. And she was like, what is that thing? That is interesting. You know, and he was like, bitch, if you don't run, like, this ain't a game. But then the Dalek shot at Heather, and it got terrifying again, and then I was screaming, and I couldn't. She was exterminate, and then she was just absorbing that shit, and I was like, nah, Sam, nah.
Something that was cool to me about Bill and the Doctor's interaction is that, yes, the Doctor was like, I'm not doing this no more, I'm retired. Or slash whatever it is he has to do that is like keeping him grounded. And I think that whatever it is a big part of why he doesn't travel, but he's making an exception for Bill. But my favorite thing is that 12 hasn't gotten to do this. 12 had Clara at first, and Clara was already in the know. She already was like, oh yeah, I know all the buttons, we gonna press this, we gonna press that, and then we could go. But 12 hasn't gotten to introduce someone to the TARDIS. He hasn't, well, he has, but not a main companion in terms of like, it's bigger on the inside, and like, he was really hamming it up. He was just like, you know what I would do? I'm gonna turn on the lights for the drama. Let's do it for the gram. Oh my god! And he like goes and he like turns the lights on.
Bill looking out of the window.
He's got his crushed velvet
in
like
the TARDIS. That was so brilliant.
And she's like,
just like, I was like, girl, if you don't turn around,
your doors
if you don't turn around right now and see what's happening.
And then she's like,
we're in this little box.
It's like a kitchen.
We're in this tiny box. What's going on?
It's like a kitchen. But did you run out of money? Favorite line. Did you run out of money at the doors? They're made of wood. What's wrong with you? But the Doctor like hammed it up, and she's just like too busy asking questions for him to really get to enjoy it, because she's just like, and then where's the bathroom? And he's just like, but you didn't say the thing. And then he took her to the other location, and then she's just like, wait, hold on. It's big on the inside. He's just like, I was looking for that hours ago. He was over it by then.
But when he was like, it's also a spaceship, and she was like, whatever, I didn't hear that. Or no, I think he said it was like also a time machine or something, and she was like, what? And then they went to the future, and she was like, wait a second, there's travel in time too? And he was like, but I said that a while ago. I said that back there. You don't get a good listener sticker, Bill.
She kept ruining his game. He was upset.
You don't get a good listener sticker.
But I think that her even delayed excitement was like, okay, I'm gonna take this girl. She's the one. She's the new one. Which is very cool, and I'm very excited for her adventures into time and space.
I know.
It's my twin sister.
So what are you?
It was a really good like premiere.
What are you looking forward to? Like next episode, next 2 episodes, the season.
She gets a key. I want her to get a key. I think that like watching the Doctor and a new companion become better friends, and it's interesting because they were kind of like, usually the Doctor shows up, is like, ooh, run, and then it's a thing. They're already like in it. But she was like he was her tutor for like however many months, because suddenly it was Christmas.
Oh my god, the feels of when she snuck in behind them. And he asked Nardole what he set the thing to, and he said friend.
It was a friendship.
He said friend, and that's how she got in.
That was so good. And then she left, and I was like, that's interesting. She was just like, I'm going to sneak right back out.
She was like, I don't need to know.
But watching...
Because she's queer, so she was like, I don't want to be all up in their gay relationship. I don't want to ask too many questions. They got something going on in the closet. I know that life, fam. I know that life.
But also she black, and she was just like, I wasn't asked here.
This ain't none of my business. It got a little scary, and she was like, well, you know what?
Wait, have you guys seen that meme that's going around where the guy's just like eating at a picnic, and he looking around, and the meme was like, minding my business, but also paying attention. Minding my business, but also paying attention. That's Bill.
That's Bill.
She minding her business, but she paying attention.
She was like, I don't need to be involved. I just need to know what's going on. I need to know what is in there, but I don't need to be involved. Mm-hmm. Like when when it matters to me, then I won't be caught unawares. But that's you, fam. That's all you.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm looking forward to like kind of all of what Connie said. I'm interested to see, though I'm not like holding my breath for it, like the ways in which they like allow her to embody her identity as opposed to like kind of brushing over it and just like using it as like token, like a pat on, like I'm gonna just pat myself on the back because I have like diversity. And so I'm looking forward to it like going further than that. I don't know that it really will. I kind of doubt that it will. But, you know, one episode in, we'll
stay
see.
grounded. Stay grounded.
Yeah, stay woke.
Be cautiously optimistic.
Constant vigilance.
Constant vigilance,
paying attention. I'm like, you know, surveying the
y'all,
terrain.
This is gonna be some,
but also I'm like...
I'm just saying, don't fall into that pickery trap.
No.
Don't get
No,
excited.
I definitely am not. Yeah.
We'll see. If they pull a pickery...
Yeah. So far, I am cautiously optimistic.
Cool.
Cautiously optimistic.
I like it.
Absolutely.
I'm excited too to see more.
Yeah.
I just want to see Bill like interact with other species. Like I want to see her off of Earth because even that little like thing that we got of her in Gallifrey, like in the Time War, and her reaction to the Dalek, like I'm just like really excited to see her reactions to like other species, and like I think that it'll be different than the other companions in a good way.
She meets an Ood.
Yeah. Although.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Something that's I just like recognize is that they're following the sort of, I think it's what the traditional pattern is like first episode's present, next episode's future, third episode goes back to the past. Because the next episode is definitely future. So I'm excited for the future and then the past. In that order, as we usually get with a new companion.
I'm
That's
nervous
a fun,
about
like,
the past.
little tradition that they kind of uphold.
That's when it's going to
Obviously.
be... That's when we're going to know.
Yeah.
What they're doing.
I feel like I need to brush up on my like European British history just in case.
It depends on where they go, which I
Right.
guess maybe the summary's out, or I guess they're not out, but we can maybe have, like, she was wearing, like, Victorian wardrobe, so, I don't know, I feel like they'd like to try to pick safe
But
Right.
Victorian's not safe.
Well, places that right, no, I know, but places they think are safe places. So, like, Martha went back to Shakespeare, and Doctor's like, yeah, it's just like modern London. It's super diverse here, even though Martha was the only black person in the whole
Except for the two that walked by to let her know that it was safe. That was the only...
Yeah.
Right, yes, obviously.
And what if
So
out
it's
on
like
the
you
back they
try to
had that
pick
Martha
places
even
where they're
asked the
like-
question, am I safe? They're like, look,
Right.
see guys? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously she's
Like,
safe, but we
yeah.
know that
But like,
there
and
was
it's
a time
like,
when
you
she
know,
wasn't.
we're still in the middle of like the transatlantic slave trade is happening at this
Right.
time, so it's a legit
Like, the
question.
height.
But okay,
Still,
she's
still
cool.
going on. Yeah.
She's cool.
Yeah.
It's
We'll
fine.
see.
We're fine.
Yeah.
Some of your favorite quotes from the episode?
Time and relative dimension in space. It means life.
He was such a ham this episode, and I
The
loved it.
TARDIS is life, guys.
I loved it.
He loves being a ham
And I'm really curious, like, what is he teaching?
He
Because
can just literally do whatever
right,
he
I'm
wants.
like, what did he teach? Because I'm really
He
trying to
doesn't
figure
know.
out. Like, even Bill doesn't really know. She just knows it's lit. When
No
she
one
said they're
knows.
learning, they're
Yeah,
just
he's
learning.
he's
literally
He's
Dumbledore.
supposed to be teaching physics. He's supposed to be teaching physics, but he like did a lecture on poetry, and he was like, "Well, poetry is physics."
Same thing.
Right.
Same thing.
Because of the
Same
rhyming.
thing, the rhymes.
Yeah.
Because of the rhyming.
Because of the rhymes. He's literally Dumbledore, except that Dumbledore didn't have a class at Hogwarts, but if he did have a class at Hogwarts, it would absolutely be 7th years only, and every lesson
Whatever
would
he
be
wanted
just
to talk
whatever
about.
On his
is
mind.
coming to the top of
from
his
Albus
head.
Dumbledore.
Yeah.
But I think that's
Thoughts.
why it's like a lecture series and not like an actual class. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
like you just talk.
Yeah.
We'll
I'm
get
down
what
with
we
that.
can do. We get what we can from it, and that's the best that we can do. I really liked. There was a whole bunch of stuff that she said beforehand, but then when she said it's not a room, it's a lift, I was like,
This is a lift.
I was like, Bill,
what? Bill,
girl.
catch up, girl. Come on. All right, Harry.
But how is...
Give me my wand, Tom.
We don't know. I don't think we know enough about Bill to sort her just yet, but she might not be a Ravenclaw. Don't think she's a Ravenclaw. Don't think she's a Ravenclaw.
Man, from this episode, I'd say she's the Hufflepuff, the way she was sticking with Heather or whatever, so, you know.
Right. But she was also sprung.
She's got loyalty meters.
She was sprung. And as someone who has been sprung and will continue to be sprung, and with a little sprung off Bill, just off top, I get it. I get those feels. I'm not blaming her.
And then everyone's kind of talking about the whole, that's the thing about the Doctor, he never notices the tears. That's not true. I'm like actually really upset about that line because I don't think that it's true. I think that he did notice that she was upset and he walked off for multiple reasons. One, he's giving her space. Two, he's the Doctor. He's like, you want me to deal with a crying person? I don't know how to do that. He doesn't do that. And so I don't know. I'm just upset that Nardole said that.
But I also think that like he has done that in the past, right? Like, you know, Amy breaks down because Rory died for the umpteenth time. He's like gonna go comfort her, or like, I don't know, there's probably other moments where, like, other companions, that's the only one I can really think of right this second, but, like, I do think that, like, with this Doctor, it's one of those things that they're kind of, like, the
crying kid
keeping
right?
as a part of his, like, characterization from the beginning, where, like, they tried to make him, like, oh, I don't hug, and, like, oh, I'm not into, like, and so, I do agree that I don't think that's why he left, because, like, you could notice some tears. Like, sometimes they try to paint him as like this cold person, or they try to tell us he's all these things, but it's like, nah, he's not though. So that doesn't.
Right. Show versus tell is like, and Nardole is just telling us
right. And also, like, how long have you known him, Nardole? You haven't known him his whole life.
I think that's actually a part of the Doctor, though, is that even with the Pandorica, it's like the Doctor he sees himself one way, but other people are like, no, you're a villain, like you're dangerous. That's true. And so I think it's not Nardole, it's not them showing or telling us the truth, it's telling us like what they see or what he thinks is true. Like, they misunderstand the Doctor. And I usually think that that's the thing, is that, like, the companion, whoever it is the one that is like, oh, no, you don't get it, right? Like, so when I'm thinking again of, like, Amy's first trip with the Doctor, and she's, like, on the USS UK, or whatever it was called, Starship Britain, and she's like, imagine something so old and and like the last of its kind, but it can't stand to hear children cry, right? And like the Doctor, even himself, is thinking that he's some like hardened, he wasn't going to do this anymore. He's sick of you goddamn humans messing everything up and just being like, you know, and like, and like his first reaction is like, well, I have to like put him out of his misery, put the Starwell out of its misery. And the companion is the one that's like, you don't even really understand you know? So I think that is what I got from that line, and that's why I liked it so much, was that, like, he never notices the tears is not, it's patently false, but it's also true of how other people see him. Does that make sense?
It does, but the thing that frustrates me about that line is that it wasn't directed to the Doctor or really the audience. It was directed to Bill, who's just meeting him. So it's something that she is now being told about him and cannot make a decision for herself about him. So now she's going to go off being like, the Doctor doesn't see my tears, he doesn't care, or whatever,
though, right? Like
was implied by that line.
Lies, right? And it's like, people, like, I think Rose, even I'm thinking back to Rose, like, when she meets Sarah Jane, and Sarah Jane's telling her all the stuff about the Doctor, and she's realizing how little she really knows him, but then having to find out.
I guess, but that's still, like, been a few months, right? Like, she's been traveling
but she's
with him
known
for
him,
a little bit, you know? Where it's like, girl hasn't even gotten in the TARDIS properly yet, and
but
you're all really like,
she does know him.
He don't see you.
By the time that she gets into the TARDIS, it's been a few months. Like, she doesn't know he's an alien. She doesn't know, but she knows. She's gotten to know him in this small way.
But not small. Yeah,
not his
but
full self.
The thing, exactly. Not his full self, and not his full self in Crisis.
Years old. He's an alien.
I know, but
mercurial as fuck.
But in his companions discover who he is, and like however many bits and pieces that they need from him during times of crisis, and like that's who your true self is, who you are under pressure and in crisis and in a conflict. And she didn't get to make that decision yet, and Nardole annoyed me. Like, I was fine with him until that line, and then I was like, but that's not true. You're just saying, like, you're saying that because that's how you feel, but he is actually seeing her tears and making a decision. And then it wasn't even her tears. She was just like, I don't even think they're mine, which was like a kind of a cool line, but it kind of was soured by the fact that Nardole was like, that's the thing about him, he doesn't see the tears. I'm gonna walk off. Like, how about you let her make that decision for yourself?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm not sure that that's different. Or new, that people try to explain the Doctor to the companions, and then it's up to the companion what they take it and. But
usually it happens a little bit more more time in space traveling with him to make that decision.
Yeah.
Where she would either know, like maybe know.
True.
One way or the other.
Right, like because Amy doesn't
that
like,
actually
hear
is.
about the Doctor from someone else until River shows up, and that's like she's been traveling with him at least like a couple times at that point. Speaking of that,
also River is such a.
She knows him, but also I know the pictures of Susan and River. It was so sweet.
Yeah,
and then I also was like I think it's really cool, right? Because it's like his first.
And then when he was talking to them, like, don't look at me like that.
Exactly. Like, and then the TARDIS jumped in. I was like, oh, the Doctor and his girls. And then, like, and I do actually like that it's not like he has, like, it would have been weird if it was like, and Rose, and Martha, and Mickey, and and Donna, and Jack, and, like, Amy. Like, it would have gotten to be a lot. So I do like that it's, like, the two people who are the most, like, maybe, like, the most important in his life. And I kind of like the callback to Classic Who as well.
Right. Well, those are his family in a way that the companions are.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like a wife and a granddaughter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like, it's not like a collection of, and I really do want to see like an old companion. I would love to see Martha and Bill. Oh my God.
Please.
I would love it so much.
Not happening. I have no faith.
I have no faith in that either. But like, I would love to see an old companion come back, and I would love it to be Martha. But especially because I think we talked about this. Me and Bayana talked about this in one of our previous attempts at the show. That Martha's return post being a companion, she was so much better. She was so better. Like she was much more like grounded and knew herself and knew the Doctor and the situation. Like she was much more like just realistic about it. And I think that like obviously like being Black and then like meeting Bill and being able to like give her some like advice and like guidance in that way would be,
especially because she's a bit of a rebound companion, also,
right,
in the same way that Martha was.
Right. I think that would be amazing, but I also like think the companions occupy a piece. Like there's always a piece of the Doctor that like his heart breaks whenever he loses a companion, and he has to go through this grieving process. And like the rebound companions usually suffer from it, from that when he's obviously not done grieving. But like when Sarah Jane came back and like interacted with Rose, and they had that like what it means to be the companion to the Doctor, because I think that's something that Clara really suffered from when she started to like forget that she was not a Time Lord, like, and that like she just like. I mean, there's so much wrong with like how they treated Clara, but like she at one point just was like, "Oh yeah, we Time Lords, we run this stuff." And I'm like, "Girl, you human, you got one heartbeat. Calm down, you trying." So, but having that like, I think it would have been great if Clara had like met another companion to be like, "Girl, you human," like you know what I mean? Like there is always going to be a disconnect. And I feel like those pictures.
There's still an opportunity for that.
Yeah, but I
Bill.
feel like those pictures kind of like set me up to the fact that might
somewhere.
happen. Like we're going to see, especially because it's Capaldi's last run and it's Moffat's last run, and I mean, hopefully he doesn't go full RTD, because I wasn't a big fan of like how just like ridiculous he got in his like farewell tour.
It was a lot. I loved it the first time because I was just excited. I was like, oh shit, it's Mickey. Oh shit. I was just like happy for a long, I was just along for the ride.
Literally Harry Potter and the
when I
Cursed Child.
rewatched it though, I was like, oh, this is a lot.
It was some
when I was rewatching it, I was like, really? A reality bomb?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's too much.
Yeah.
Like tone it
down.
down.
I think that's one thing, the reason why I've always like kind of stuck up for Moffat and really liked Moffat is because I was just so turned off by the end of RTD's run, and like Moffat came in and was like, Homeboy is a traveler that likes to keep a low profile, but shit just keeps coming his way. And so like the entire first series of Matt was to like retcon like reality bombs and like Daleks and Cybermen coming out. His
entire reputation.
Right? Like, but I do think that there is an opportunity for like a farewell tour type of, maybe they go back in time and see the ponds wherever they ended up, or River shows up. God, let River show up.
She should just that's the one companion, right, that like for season 6 she was the extra companion, and she actually was there for a reason and did things. Like Nardole is not River. I'm sorry.
Not at all.
He could never.
Not even a little
River.
bit.
He is not River.
He could never.
He could never.
He couldn't even imagine ever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even on the same timeline, universe. Dimension. No.
It's not even on a parallel universe. It's just reality bomb. Reality bomb Nardole trying to be in it. I'm just not about it. I don't want to shit on Nardole. Like I hope
I don't like him.
He finds,
and maybe that'll change. I think when I saw him the first time, I saw him the first time, I was like, oh, he's cute, cool, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's there, it's fine.
He's just
a one-off,
utterly
and
useless
like,
in this episode.
There was no reason for him to be there. It was really, it was like they were trying to make fetch happen, and I was just, and my thing is like, he's just like, he's in all the, he was in all the like, promos and stuff for the season, and I was like, did we all agree that we wanted more Nardole? I don't remember that poll. I didn't see that question being posed. Like, I'm like, were people like overly excited?
It was on
him?
the Brexit referendum. It was like, do you want to leave the EU, and do you want more Nardole?
Because I was like, who asked for him? And not even that he's terrible, but like, he's so blah that I was just like, who was somebody really pushing like, I need more Nardole? Like, who was asking for that?
His agent, give it up for his agent. He got them checks coming, girl.
I'm perplexed, but it's fine. Maybe it'll get better, and maybe by next week, I'll be like, cool, I'm down for Nardole. But as of right now, he's utterly forgettable, and that is just mediocre. Like, there's too much. Like aggressively mediocre. Like offensively mediocre. Yeah. But it's just too much.
I also like don't want to like. That's not his fault. Like, it's kind of the Danny Pink thing, right? Either. Like, it's not.
Well, Danny wasn't mediocre. He was just the worst.
Danny had a purpose.
That's different.
But he was aggressively the worst in a way that was like.
It was the writing. It's not the character.
There was a purpose that they were trying to accomplish with that.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right.
And in both cases, it's absolutely the writing. It's not either of the actors at all. But at least with Danny, there was a bad but purposeful like thread that you could clearly see of like what they were trying. I didn't say they successfully accomplished. I did not say that.
I get what you're saying. Like, you could see what they were trying to do, and they didn't do well at it.
They were trying to do something, and it wasn't good.
What are they trying to do with Nardole? Is the question. And
maybe we'll find that out, and we'll suddenly the entire season will make sense. You just said we ain't trying to mess with him. Now you're like, will we?
I'm still on that Danny Pink.
Like
I'm sorry.
said,
like there's just no. I'm so mad about it.
But the only thing I can see is that Nardole is important to whatever is below the school and somehow helps the doctor in some major way. And we'll see, we'll watch the season over and be like, Nardole, remember?
He's Dobby.
And just be like, great, finally. I don't think he's Dobby.
Nardole is Dobby.
I had that thought and wanted to keep it quiet.
Listen, I don't have
no. We'll see.
We know that.
I literally thought
that's best case scenario, man. Best case scenario, he's Dobby.
Because at first Dobby was like, why are you here? This
you are
is
not
weird.
helping.
He's loud and in the way, and you are not helping. And then by the end, you're like, oh, snap, it's Dobby. So
right.
maybe Nardole is a Dobby character.
Right.
Okay, cool. So anyone have any last thoughts or...
Yeah, I just want to say,
I love Bill.
That was basically my last thought. I was like, I just want to say that, technically, I'm a, cis hetero, woman, but Bill, I'll make some bad decisions for you, baby. Come on.
Ooh,
love you.
She's ready to risk it all.
Love it so much. I will risk it all.
Ready to risk it all, indeed.
She walked in, and I was like... Okay, and then she said something, and I was like, okay, and then she came back with her hair in that bun, and I was like, okay. And then she was giving eyes to that girl at the club, and I was like, well, listen here, I'm feeling a way about it.
I just want to know how to make my hair like hers every single day, because
the bun and then that half up twist back, you know what I'm talking about?
The half, but I can't pull that. I can't pull that off.
So
Pearl,
where are her YouTube tutorials?
Right, Bill, can you get a YouTube channel going for us?
That would be such a good mini web thing of little mini episodes of her just having a little YouTube thing of doing her hair from the TARDIS.
Listen,
how to do your hair in space. Okay, so today we're on a planet that's really, really humid. So in order to really successfully understand what's happening, you just have to, do the little twist out and then maybe a Bantu knot. But you have to make sure it dries before you exit the TARDIS. Because the TARDIS, you have to go only so far, and then the TARDIS, the translation circuit for the hair, it just shuts off. So you just have to be really, really careful.
Look at Connie pretending they got black writers on staff. Look at you. Good for you.
Maybe Connie should just do it.
Maybe this is something I need to do.
Yeah.
Maybe this is something I need to do as a thing, as weird fan fiction. It's just a vlog, a vlog from the TARDIS.
Cool. So you can check us out at blackgirlscreate.org and read Connie's writing at the New York Daily News.
With that verified check, y'all.
Yeah, you could do that.
That verified life.
She's fancy. Also follow us on Twitter at We Black and Nerds. You can follow me at Yana_Hollows, Robyn at Robyn with a Y _Ravenclaw, and Connie at Constar24.
With a check behind her name. Y'all,
with the check,
remember
y'all?
when we met Connie, when Connie first became cousin, and she ain't had no check. And now she got a check. And I feel like I had something to do with that. I didn't. I had nothing to do. I literally had nothing to do with that. But I feel pride in it. Like it happened to me. Mm. Mm-hmm. Look at my little girl.
When we all come up, when one comes up, we all come up.
We all come up.
It's coming soon. Man. Soon come.
Cool. Thank you for listening.
Right.
And you can join us next week when we discuss episode 2 of season 10 of Doctor Who, Smile.
Make sure that if you want to join the...
I just love Bill, guys.
We love Bill. Wait, but also, if you want to join the conversation on Twitter, you can use the hashtag TARBIS with a B.
Yes, what's
Time
a B?
and relative blackness in space. And let us know your Bill thoughts. Do you love Bill? Do you not? What is wrong with you? You can't sit with us. You don't love Bill? You don't love Bill? You can't sit with us. Nah.
It's kind of true. It's a little bit true, though. You don't love
Bill. It might be TARBIS Time and relative Bill.
It's called Time and...
Just...
Ooh.
Yeah.
It works.
Bill Watch.
It works.
Bill Watch. Let's just do it.
I mean, that's basically the main reason why we're doing this. I mean, we're talking about Doctor Who and blackness in general and time travel and the precariousness of that, but it's mostly 90% because Bill is here and
Well, we were going to do a Doctor Who show, and, like, it was kind of like, when are we going to do it? When do we have time for it? And then they dropped that trailer, and then Connie dropped that tweet with the side-by-side, and then it was like, listen.
It's happening. Be out here.
Oh, we need some Bill emoji.
You do need a Bill emoji.
Yes. And her patch game.
Her
patch game is strong.
I need to buy some patches, y'all. I got some on my Doctor Who jacket, but I have her jean jacket, and I just need to buy more patches. The show was supposed to be over, and then we just got into a more
I was like, I was just trying to close it out.
Sorry,
We're
guys,
over an hour.
listening.
It's supposed to be 30 minutes. I was trying to wrap it up. Y'all got feelings.
But we had a lot of Bill emotions. So if you have Bill emotions, you should tweet us and let us know.
TARBIS.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
The black girls have the box.